Year 6, so moving on to our next lesson now, and today we're going to be converting between different units of measurement. So for a quick do now, I want you to multiply the following numbers by 12 on the screen, because this will help us to practice some of the conversion that we need to do for units of measurement today. So hopefully you had the opportunity to pause the video there and do this. So the first one, we should know that 12 multiplied by 12 is equal to 144. The second one, we're going to have to use long multiplication for this, so I'll just model out how to do it now. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4, 2 by 2, 4, remembering 0 here, 1 by 2 is 2, 1 multiplied by 2 is 2, and then adding them together, so the answer is 264 for that one. And then for the third one, 25 multiplied by 12, starting on the right, so 5 multiplied by 2, it's 10 there, 2 by 2, 4 add 1 is 5, remembering 0, 1 by 5 is 5, 1 by 2 is 2, adding them together gives you 300. So again, hopefully this practices our multiplication ready for today's lesson, where we have to use multiplication and division for converting. So in this lesson, we're going to be converting between metric and imperial units of distance. So some key words, which we're going to go over now, the meaning of. Convert obviously means change. Metric and imperial are two different units of measurement. Units are things we use to measure something, and distance is how far something is. So distance is how far away something is. But what is the difference between metric and imperial? We're going to be using different examples here in order for me to tell you what the difference between metric and imperial is. So we've got 3 measurements here: feet, inches, and centimetres, all of which you will be familiar with. What do you know about these measurements? When might they be used, and what could they measure? So I think you should pause the video now for about a minute to discuss what you already know about these measurements, when they might be used, and what they could measure. So hopefully you had the opportunity to pause the video there. Feet, inches, and centimetre are all used to measure distance, but we know that feet are a lot bigger than inches, and also a lot bigger than centimetres. You might see on a ruler, you might see sometimes inches, and it's equivalent to more than 1 centimetre, and the inches are bigger than centimetres, and feet is much longer. They wouldn't be covered on a normal classroom ruler. When they might be used, so centimetres might be used for something small like a rubber, inches perhaps for a book, and feet might be used to measure a person or a distance between 2 objects outside, so for example a car and a shop or something like that. But what could they measure, and which one are metric and which one are imperial? So moving away this here now. Most countries today use metric measures, and this includes things like metres, centimetres and grams, but in the UK the imperial system is also used for feet and inches, which we'll be learning about today. So the reason why we need to learn and why this is important is because not all measurements are given in metric. Sometimes it's imperial, so sometimes in your exams you'll have to convert between the two, and sometimes in real life as well you'll have measurements in feet or inches and you'll have to convert to meters, and the other way around as well. So it's really useful for your daily life. So new learning here now. You've got a measurement in feet and inches. Anna is 5 foot 7 inches tall. How many inches is this? And you've got up here, it says there are 12 inches in 1 foot. 1 inch is equivalent to 2.5 centimetres. You might be able to see this on a ruler if you've got one. So first step, what we're going to do to convert this, what the question is asking you to convert foot and inches to metres and centimetres. The first step in order to do this is to convert this measurement here into just inches. So I'm going to do this by doing 5 multiplied by 12, because there are 12 inches in 1 foot. So 12, 24, 48, 12, 24, 36, 48, 60. Plus 7 is equal to 67 inches. So that in just inches, 5 foot 7 inches is 67 inches. Lovely. Then we're going to convert this inches into centimetres. So I'm going to look up here now in this conversion chart, which you'll see in exams and which is very useful. So I'm going to look out for inches to centimetres. You need to multiply by 2.5. So I'm going to have to use long multiplication by this. And multiply 67. I'm going to do by 25 and add in a decimal point afterwards. 7 multiplied by 5, 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. So 5, root group of 3. 6 times 5 is equal to 30. Add 3 is equal to 33. 0 here. 2 by 7 is equal to 14. So 4, root group of 1. 2 by 6 is equal to 12. Add 1 is 13. Add them together. I'm remembering to add the decimal point in here because I multiplied by 25 when it should be 2.5. So I'm adding the decimal point in once from the right. So how tall is Anna in meters and centimeters? So she's 167.5 centimeters tall. And to convert that to meters and centimeters, she is 1 meter 67.5 centimeters. So to go back over that, the first thing I did this was convert foot and inches to just inches by multiplying by 12. Then, once I converted this to inches, I then converted this to centimetres by looking at the chart up here, which is really important, and multiplying the number by 2.5 in order to give you how tall Anna is in metres and centimetres rather than in foot and inches. So let's apply this to a taught task now. So for your taught task, you've got some inches, centimetres, feet and centimetres as well. What I want you to do is convert the following lengths, depending on what it asks you, using this chart here and this chart, this table here to help you, and making sure you're taking your time to check your multiplication. So I give you about 1 minute to do this, then pause this video while you're working this out, and then we'll come together and I'll explain how to do it. So hopefully you had the opportunity to pause the video there. For the taught task, to convert inches to centimetres for the first time, step number 1, you should have looked at this chart here, look to see where it says inches to centimetres and see that you need to multiply by 2.5. 4 multiplied by 2.5, I could probably do this in my head. 4 multiplied by 2 is equal to 8. And 4 multiplied by a half is equal to 2. So 8 plus 2 is equal to 10. So this one is equal to 10 centimetres here. 25 centimetres to inches. This time I'll look here again. To go from centimetres to inches, you need to divide by 2.5. Again, I could do this in my head. 25 divided by 2.5. Sorry, is equal to 10 because you need to move a decimal point once to the left. So that means you divide by 10. So it's 10 inches. Feet to centimetres. So to convert 4 feet into centimetres, step number 1, it says over here, multiply by 12 to convert to inches, the same as I did the previous slide. So 4 multiplied by 12 is equal to 12, 24 plus 6, 48. Step number 2, you then need to multiply by 2.5. So multiply by 25 and add a decimal place after. 8 multiplied by 5 is equal to 40. 0 equal to 4. 5 multiplied by 4 is equal to 20. Add a 4 is equal to 24. Regrouping a 0 below. 2 multiplied by 8 is equal to 16. Carrying a 1. 4 multiplied by 2 is equal to 8. Add a 1 is 9. Then you need to add them all together at the end. 9 plus 2 is 11 plus 1, 12. Remembering to add the move the decimal point once to the left. So the answer is 120 centimetres for that one. And for the final one, I'm not going to work it out here in front of you because I don't have time for this. But again, if you worked out 4 feet for this one, then you have to obviously half what 120 is. So half of 120 divided by 2 is equal to 60. Hopefully you got these right. If not, pause the video there now. Look at the tables to see where you went wrong and check your multiplication or divisions again to see where you went wrong in these conversions of lengths. So a bit of developed learning here now. I'll read it out for you first. So a spacesuit is 1.75 meters in length, whereas an astronaut is 6 feet 1 inches tall. Will the suit, which is 175 centimeters, fit the astronaut who's 6'1"? How do you know? Okay, so the first step here would be to convert everything into centimetres. And the reason why I'm choosing to convert into centimetres is because that's the easiest thing. I think it's easier to times by 2.5 than it is to divide by 2.5. So rather than converting them all into inches, I'm going to convert them into centimetres and metres. And after I've converted them, I'll see if the spacesuit is long enough or short enough to fit the astronaut. And I'll compare the two lengths to see if the suit will fit. So step number 1 in converting those to centimetres, I'm going to convert, first of all, really simply, 1.75 metres is equal to 175 centimetres. Because we should know already, there are 100 metres equals 1 centimetre. So I multiply that by 100. Second step, I'm going to convert feet and inches. First of all, I'm going to convert it into inches. And then once I've converted into inches, I'm going to convert it into centimetres. And then I'm going to compare the length of the spacesuit with the astronaut. So 6 feet 1 inches, because I know there are 12 inches in 1 foot, 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72 inches. 6 feet is equal to 72 inches. And then add 1 inch left over is equal to 73 inches. So an astronaut is equal to 73 inches. And what we've got to do, how do we convert from inches to centimetres? We need to times by 2.5. So I'm going to do some long multiplication here at the side. 73 multiplied, I'm going to times it by 25 and then add in a decimal point once to the right afterwards. And then I'm going to compare to see if it's bigger or smaller than 175 centimetres, which was the spacesuit. So you might want to do this at home while I'm doing this. You might want to pause the video here, see if you can complete this and see which one's bigger. 5 multiplied by 3 is equal to 15. 5 carry 1. 7 multiplied by 5 is equal to 35. Add a 1 is 36. remembering to add a 0 here. 2 multiplied by 3 is equal to 6. 2 by 7 is 14. Add them together. 5, 2, 1. 4 plus 3 plus 1 is equal to 8, and 1 here. So it's 182.5 centimetres. So the astronaut is 182.5 centimetres, whereas the spacesuit is only 175 centimetres. So I don't think that the suit will fit the astronaut because it's too small. Because 175 centimetres is smaller than 182 centimetres, 182.5 centimetres. Therefore, no. And the reason is below, because the spacesuit is much shorter, significantly shorter anyway, than the astronaut, so it will not fit. And you explain by working it out below. When it says how do you know, you have to work out what the answer would be and explain, and I would do a sentence here explaining, I know this because the spacesuit is 175 centimetres, whereas the astronaut is 182.5 centimetres. So the spacesuit needs to cover the whole astronaut, obviously, because it needs to cover it, protect it from everything. Therefore, it would be too short. And that's how I explain it. And I'd also show the working as well, because it's really important that you show your working, as we always encourage you to do lessons, because you get marks for that as well. So, which of the following destinations are further away? Which of the largest difference in distance, or a true or false question as well, working out from this table here now. So, you've got a bus stop, a taxi rank, and Tesco here. And you've got this side is in inches, and you've got this side is in feet. What we're going to do is we're going to see which of these distances, the bus stop, taxi rank, or Tesco, is furthest away, which of the large difference, and true or false as well. And we're going to be doing this first, we're going to have to convert, I think it's obvious straight away, we're going to have to convert them all into inches and foot in order to be able to compare them all. So, to go from 1,440 inches to foot, let's look at the conversion. Again, this table is so important, so it's really important you look at it. You have to divide by 12. So, 12 into 1440, 12, you can't do there. 12 into 14, can't do, here are your 2. 12 into 24 is 2, 0. So this one is equal, sorry, that should have been 1 there. My mistake, because 12 into 14 is 1. Sorry, I put it wrong there. So distance from home in foot is equal to 120 feet. Okay, so the bus stop is 120 feet home. Taxi rank, so to go from feet to inches this time, you need to multiply by 12. So I'm going to have to do 240 multiplied by 12. To make this a bit easier, I'm just going to do 24 multiplied by 12 and add a 0 onto the end. 4 multiplied by 2 is 8. 2 by 2 is 4. A 0 here. 1 by 4 is 4. 1 by 2 is 2. Add them together and add a 0 in the end. So it's 2,880 inches. So obviously you can see that's already longer here. And finally, 60 foot in inches. You need to do 60 multiplied by 12. I would do this by doing 12 multiplied by 6 and add a 0 in the end. So 12, 24, 48, 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72. So it's equal to 720 because you need to add a 0 in the end. So which of the following destinations are further away? The one which is furthest away is the one with the greatest number of inches or feet. So you can see it's clearly the taxi rank because it's 2,880 inches and 240 feet away. So the furthest away is the taxi rank, and hopefully you're able to work that out at home too. Which is the largest difference in distance? Okay, I can see quite clearly here the taxi rank is the highest and Tesco is the lowest. So the largest difference in distance are taxi rank and Tesco. And the taxi rank is closer than Tesco's. Is it true or false? Let's compare the two. I can see the taxi rank is 2,880 inches away, whereas Tesco is 720 inches. Therefore, Tesco is closer. So this would be false, this statement here. This statement would be false. Lovely. So you can see hopefully from this lesson that although it could feel confusing at first to convert between different units of measurement, firstly, hopefully I explain why it's important. And second of all, hopefully I showed by using those tables and using multiplication and division, how you'd convert between the two. So I've screenshot here the independent task for today. I've written some key steps here and I've put the tables. You'll see the table for here is important and the table here is important. Please make sure the first thing you do in the question is identify what you've got to convert between. So for example, it says here feet to inches. Look over here, see what you have to do for feet to inches in order to be able to convert. And the challenge here is a more complicated version of what I literally just modelled here with taxi rank and Tesco. So I modelled it out quite clearly. And you've got some nice true or false questions here and some word problems. And you've also got to create your word problem as well. Make sure you include your answer to your word problem, which you do. Good luck. I modelled out how to do the first one for you here, converting feet to inches. And I cannot wait to see your work uploaded. So good luck, Year 6.